Each element has certain characteristics associated with it. And in this segment of wood, we're going to be discussing the emotions, the body type, and the personality of these natives. All while I'm going to make you a matcha and green apple jelly pudding. What I'm going to start off with is some plant-based milk. You can use any one you like. I'm going to use some bonsai, so soy milk, the best soy milk, and some coconut milk. So 1.5 cups altogether. So 3/4 cup of each. And if you're loving my green ceramics, they're by Brooke Jenkins Ceramics, and the link is in the description. So we've got 1.5 cups of plant milk. I've got some vanilla, so a teaspoon or two. Just taste this and, change it to how you like it, but this is how I like it. And then I'm going to put in some matcha, so 1 to 2 teaspoons. It's quite strong, so you might want to just start with 1 teaspoon, but this is for 2 people. A sweetener, so let's use some spiral maple syrup. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons in this. You can use some raw honey, you can use rice syrup, you can use coconut palm sugar. I'm using maple syrup. And then we're going to whisk this. There's a whole tradition of how you whisk matcha. You can use your food processor as well if you like. Now we're going to add the chia seeds. So I've got 1/2 cup there. Whisk it well, and then just let it sit at room temperature for a couple of minutes, and that's going to get nice and thick. So while that's thickening up, I want to talk about the emotions associated with the wood element. So the emotions are anger, resentment, and frustration. So this is because wood types are often planning and forward thinking, and they look up and out. So they're very ambitious, they're highly organized people. So if they get held back, they get really frustrated, they get really pissed off, they get angry. Don't hold me back, don't stop me now. This is what causes the frustration and the anger. We've all been there. We all get like this. We all have wood element in us. It's just that in spring, we all have a little bit more of it. And if you're a wood type, then you're going to be more prone to frustration, anger, and a sense of being held back, just being angry and pissed off. So the way you know you're looking at a wood type is the body type. These people have hard, sinewy bodies. They're tall, they're lean, and they move with grace. They rarely struggle with their weight because their metabolism is just so fast. You'll know these people. They have those sinewy, muscly, hard bodies, and they're quick to anger. This is all about the liver being congested or stagnant or stuck, which is why we're eating green foods and sour foods and things like this lovely matcha green pudding. So this is already getting thick. So get yourself a nice little ramekin with a lid that you can leave in the fridge overnight, and make, a lot. Make like 6 so you've got them for the week. So pour in the mixture about halfway, because we're going to make a lovely firm jelly topping on that. That looks beautiful. I'm going to pop that in the fridge for an hour or overnight. It won't take long. While the matcha pudding is chilling, I'm going to make some stewed fruit for the top. So today I'm going to use green apple sour flavor. You can use rhubarb as well, or both. So some apples in there. I'm going to use orange juice because this is how my Lebanese grandmother used to do it. She cooked rhubarb with orange juice and apples, and it was so yummy. So 1/2 cup of orange juice. And now this, if you're wondering what amazake is, it's fermented white rice. So young grains, young white rice is highly recommended in spring for the wood element. This is a fermented rice. Amazake is really popular in Japan and in Japanese cuisine. We just haven't seemed to have got that memo yet. So look for amazake. It's one of the best things you can take for your gut. To balance gut bacteria, this is your friend. I have it with my matcha and lion's mane hot drink, or you can put it in any desserts. It's a mildly sweet flavor and mildly sour, and you could just eat it like this, seriously. Why isn't everyone eating amazake for their gut? It's incredible. So about a tablespoon. It's not very sweet. So if you do want it a little bit sweeter, add some sweetener, maple syrup or honey. And I want to add some warming spices to this as well, because that's so great for digestion, which when the liver's a little bit stuck, your digestion really suffers. So first up, cinnamon, and then some ginger. Both great spices for digestion. So let's put in about a teaspoon of cinnamon. You can put a quill in as well, if you like, if you don't have ground. Cinnamon and some ginger. Ginger's just great for everything, right? And then I'm going to give it a little stir. Put the lid on. That'll take about 3 minutes. So now we wait. That is smelling ready. Those apples smell like home. Yeah, so just have a little poke around with your apples, just so they're tender. It won't take long because they're cut so finely. So I'm going to pour the apples into a blender. You should let it cool slightly. All right, so let's blend that up so it's nice and smooth. Okay, set that aside. And now let's deal with the jelly topping. You can use gelatin. I don't want to. I want to use a plant-based ingredient here. So I'm going to use agar. This is seaweed. This ingredient is so wonderful, especially in spring and especially for the wood element, because it lowers blood pressure and cholesterol. It's one of the highest sources of calcium and iron you can get, and it's seaweed. So there are so many other benefits to including it, and it's inexpensive as well. This is like a hidden secret not many people use, but get into agar. I mean, you're going to be really happy that you did. So what I'm going to do is let this agar soak for a minute, because people find it a bit scary, and it's not when you know how to use it. So I'm going to get my billy again. It doesn't matter if it's got the apple. It's actually better if it's got the leftover bits of apple in it. And I want to put 1 cup of water in there. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of agar. 1, 2. Okay, don't mess with it too much now. Just give it like a jiggle. Just jiggle it just a little bit. And then you want to let it sit for about a minute. Do a little and wait about a minute just to let it do its thing. So while I'm waiting for that, I want to thank Spiral Foods. They're so generous, they're so wonderful, and you can see all of these products here are Spiral Foods. So let's take a moment to thank them. Spiral Foods are Australia's largest distributor and supplier of traditional foods. Now in their 4th decade, I've been using these products for about 30 years. And the reason being is that they're the best. And there's such a huge variety of different products. So everything from Japanese foods like amazake and shiitake mushrooms, the noodles, green tea, seaweeds, of course. But they've also got all your tomato products, canned tomatoes, passata, ketchup, and there's just more being added all the time. So check out these products, spiralfoods.com.au, or check out the link in the description. Okay, so that's been simmering for about a minute. That's it. It depends if you want a really clear jelly top or not, because you can strain it through a tea strainer or a small sieve, but I'm a bit of a rustic kind of girl, so I'm not going to do that. So into your apples, you're going to pour that agar. So this is why these are going to set. Let it cool a little bit. Beautiful. So my matcha pudding is firm. That's how you want it. If it's still gooey and soggy, this is just going to go all the way through that, and it's going to be a big mess, and that's not pretty. It's not nice. So just wait for it to cool and then pour over the top. So as much or as little as you like. Yum. Green apples, cinnamon, ginger, and that with the matcha pudding. That is going to set at room temperature in just a few minutes. It's incredible. It doesn't need to stay in the fridge. So just let that cool a little bit, and then you're going to pop a lid on, if you've got one, or a beeswax wrap, not Glad wrap, and then clip it. And then that goes in the fridge just a few minutes, and then we'll come back to finish it off. So your pudding is nice and chilled. It's all firm. So now the toppings. You don't have to use toppings. I'm going to put toppings on though. And I thought a little bit of a strawberry for the colour would be great. And then I'm going to put some toasted coconut as well and some orange rind. Matcha is a bitter flavour, so a little bit of sweetness never goes astray. So there we have it, matcha pudding, sour green apple, topping using agar and amazake. So make a few of them, put your lid on it, get them in the fridge, wake up in the morning. What am I having for breakfast? Oh yeah, that's right. I made that delicious matcha pudding for my liver because I'm a wood element. If you think you're going to love this and you want to make it as much as I love it and as much as I make it, then don't forget to like and subscribe.